Hey, welcome to the first episode of Car Talk. This is where I'll just be in the car. I got it clipped above my speedometer, just talking to you guys just about anything and everything. If you guys have any ideas or if you're interested in this, please like and subscribe to this. Something different I want to do. I know a lot of people sit there and talk to the camera. I figured I'd give it a try too and see what can go. I guess the big thing to talk about today is the weather. Man, the weather it's been pretty gloomy and dry around here. Well, not so much dry, but gloomy and dreary around here. We've gotten like a ton of rain in the recent time, but I don't think it's enough to get us out of drought living in central Pennsylvania. It's tough, especially when you got sports. I mean, a lot of people probably compare to can feel for this with the sports. You're sitting there and trying to get baseball games in, softball games in, and it's sitting there and raining a ton, and you can't do anything about it. Everything gets postponed, and then you have a vacation that'll come up, and they're going to play like 4 games in your vacation. It hasn't happened yet. I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm fearful for that. So that's another thing, like with the weather that it gets me is it's like, good grief, it's either dreary or really super windy. I had to go down for a funeral down in Louisiana, and I was talking to some family, and they were like, oh, it's been blowing strong south winds for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I feel the same way up here too. It's like we haven't really had a real spring yet, and I don't know. I hope we still have spring. I mean, it's been kind of cool and mild, which is great. I don't want to run the air conditioner, stuff like that, especially with the way electricity costs are. Somewhat of a spring before it gets really hot. I mean, some people it doesn't get too hot up here, but it's still hot for a lot of these people because they don't have air conditioning in their houses. So, going into that, going back to the whole, like, we started off March, still cold. Sometimes we get snow in March, sometimes we don't. But cold. It's been really windy, not so much rainy. We've been in a drought, so that's been tough to deal with. We had a couple wildfires near, like, where I work out in Harrisburg. And so kind of dealing with those and seeing what's going on. But just the drought conditions that we've had, this rain that we've got for the past 2 days will definitely make a dent in that, thankfully. But I'm hoping for more beautiful days that we can get baseball games in and it's not super windy or really dry, because again, with kids sports, you sit there and you got either windy and dry and the dust is kicking up, because like we play baseball. I got a kid, 12U, play baseball on pretty much a softball field, so we have to deal, you're dealing with the wind and the dirt, or you go to these fields that aren't too big or like partially done. But the crazy part about like with the youth sports, and I don't know how I don't feel good about this, but one of the things that happened is we had a game last week, and they played 3.5 innings. We were up 12-0, and then just downpoured. Only in this area. I mean, we were driving home and it was clear. So they called the game and they said we had to replay it. And it's like we were 3 outs away from having a complete game under the weather rules, which I tried to pitch it to the other coach. I'm not one of the coaches. I do help out third base, but it's like, you guys were down 12-0 and you still want to play this game? You want to play it over again? And it's not like they were struggling against us. Maybe they turned it around, maybe not, but they were definitely struggling against our pitching. So it makes it definitely different. I feel, to see this. We got to play, we're replaying that game. We already had another game rescheduled because of rain. So it stinks because it's spring, and spring brings rain. April showers bring May flowers, that whole thing to say. So that's one of those that, you like it spring because it's cooler, but then you kind of get slightly frustrated because you can't play sports and get all the sports in, especially outdoor sports. So it's tough to deal with. It's like, you danged if you do, danged if you don't, because you want it cooler and not super hot. Like I think somewhere in Arizona or West Texas, it's supposed to be like really hot, hotter than the Sahara coming up this week. So it's kind of crazy for that. And to see the different ranges in weather that happen. So it's one of those that it's just like, you want the best of both worlds, I guess. You can't really have that. I can't remember who said it. One of the presidents was saying it. You can only please half the people half the time, or something like that. So that's how I've been feeling about the weather. Just something to talk about with the weather. I don't know what's going on with you guys, where you guys are, and if it's any better or if it's similar to what we're dealing with. I do know that it's been a lot windier, like I said, and having a friend that farms, hearing what he said about the weather too, is kind of wild. When it comes to, he tries to spray the fields and get them prepped so that he can plant, and he has a hard enough time doing that when he's spraying and not using solids. And then we have the Amish around us that use liquid manure, and man, that stuff stinks. If you ever come to central Pennsylvania and you smell it, it's what we deal with. We deal with that in the spring and we deal with that in the fall. So it's just stuff to deal with, and luckily it hasn't been too bad yet. I don't know if they're still going to go ahead and do more of it, or if they got everything covered for the fields and it's ready to go. So anyway, this is the first car talk. I don't know, it's kind of one of those things to kind of help get over the fear of talking to a camera, but also kind of make a little series to talk about that. If you guys like this, like I said, please subscribe, do more, offer any comments that you want to talk about. I don't want to get into the whole like super political stuff, but we can talk about some of the events going on, or sports. Baseball's in full gear. I got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, which have been pretty wild. I mean, NBA playoffs, seems like everybody's getting hurt. The big stars, and it's kind of making it interesting. So, anyway, that's ends this car talk, and I hope you guys liked it, and see you guys next time.